Hello, I am Ian and this video is about a vibration change. We have had a vibration change, you may have heard of a vibration change. Well, this video is about that. So what we're doing here, what's the meaning of life? Where do we come from? Are we alone in the universe? Is there a God? Is there life after death? What is it? Well, the answer is we live in a created reality. There's a creationary source. And the earth is an experiment to create one of our bodies. Our bodies are the technology, the ghost and the machine idea. Or a spirit or a soul in a body, or we're all an eternal spark of the creationary source exploring a thought, or we are an energy being made of plasma in a body made out of solids, liquids and gases. What would you like to call that? There's a bit of a list. Hopefully you get the idea. Well, let's expand on that statement a little bit. This solar system is an experiment in a full physical reality. The rest of the universe will be termed as semi-physical, and the full physical reality means that there's more options for change here. There's a bigger bandwidth of frequencies to work with. Gives you more possibilities. It's more physically dense. And because a full physical reality hadn't been tried before, we encounter an unexpected vibration mismatch problem with the base frequency of the Earth, the Schumann resonance of the Earth, the energy beings that we are in our bodies. It was kind of knocking the energy beings that we are out of tune and causing our bodies to age too quickly. The problem was that in our natural energy being state, the lowest frequencies in the tens of thousands of hertz range to become physical here on Earth, what to lower that frequency down to the base frequency of the Earth, and it just turned out to be incompatible. So the Schumann resonance of the Earth's had been rising slowly. I've heard two numbers, 7.56 and 7.83. That's risen to around about 14 hertz. And the energy beings that we are has risen still further to, or hasn't had to come down as far, to 3,500 hertz. And that was the solution to the problem. There's a bit of a story where I've had to go to explain the whole situation, so here's a bit of the story. When human beings first appear on the planet, we're in a higher state of being. We've got a 1,500-year lifespan, greatly enhanced senses and psychic abilities. And we'll start off with the ability to build the pyramids or these ancient temple sites, etc., with the fabulous stonework that we can't replicate nowadays. We'll start off there, but due to this vibration mismatch problem, that was kind of causing me to age too quickly, we got worse. Over the period of around 12,000 years, lifetimes whether from 1,500 years to down to around 120, along the way we've lost a lot of our higher senses and psychic abilities. Things get so bad that 7,000 years ago we came up with the plan to divide the energy being that we are into two and live shorter lifetimes experiencing being human while we work on this vibration mismatch problem. We knew what the problem was back then, we didn't know what the solution to the problem was, so the plan eventually became to live shorter lifetimes, as the shorter lifetime also avoided the issues caused by the vibration mismatch problem. It was a big problem. So a couple of points to make there. We're currently living in a reduced state of being. That ancient, highly advanced civilization that appears to have been lost was us in a higher state of awareness. We are still here. And the other point to make would be that 7,000 years when we came up with the plan to live shorter lifetimes, we've already been back on the planet after the sinking of Atlantis. 13,000 years, so some of the buildings were already there. The plumbing's in, the drains are in, we've got some kind of electrical energy source. We have high society. And the Ice Age and the Industrial Revolution have been used to cover that fact up. We have an Ice Age that supposedly lasted millions of years that ends 11,500 years ago, when actually the Ice Age goes back 65,000 years ago with the sinking of Atlantis. Only lasts around 10,000 years and it's not a natural cycle. But previous to the sinking of Atlantis, the Earth's axis was straight and we have a subtropical climate, very little variation in temperature all year round. And the Industrial Revolution, a lot of buildings being built with unbelievably short construction times, railway lines being laid at a ridiculous rate of knots. It becomes quite obvious when you look into it that some of the buildings in the railway lines, etc., were already there and have been for hundreds, if not thousands of years. I would have said the buildings that with the highest quality stonework that we can't replicate nowadays, the majority of those buildings have got to be somewhere in between the 8 and 18,000 years old, somewhere in there. So the plan eventually, because of this vibration mismatch problem, the plan eventually became to live shorter lifetimes, But the first plan was to build the Great Pyramid. Now, it's not a tomb, it's a health and wellness device built by us in a higher state of being 18,000 years ago. You would lie in the sarcophagus in the king's chamber, you'd be singing tones known as the Keys of Enoch. This would set up a standing wave vibration within the chamber and vibrate you back to full health. Works very well for many thousands of years. Then other pyramids are built around the planet. As other parts of the planet are colonised, we seem to improve the design, or the design changes from a pyramid into a dome. We see these domed temple sites. I would have said the Basilica at the Vatican is it's an ancient temple site built by us in a higher state of awareness. Same reason as the pyramids, to correct this vibration mismatch problem that we had. It's just it's the the quality of the stonework. It's when the stones become too big to be manageable, there's no more to use. The joints are perfectly fitted. We can't replicate that type of stonework nowadays. Those buildings were built by us in a higher state of awareness. And that makes the age of the Basilica at the Vatican, well, it's got to be somewhere between the 8 and 18,000 years old. To narrow it down a bit, I would say somewhere between 10 and 15, somewhere there. So this vibration change starts in 1996, where the base note of the Earth starts to slowly rise. This vibration change was complete and in place by the time at the end of October in 2011, when we clicked into the more renewing phase of the galactic cycle. We'll have a galactic cycle that's around 26,000 years, and it's in thirds, 2/3 active and 1/3 passive. There's a natural cycle of thirds embedded in the nature of reality, and our awake and sleep cycle would be a good example of the recommended 8 hours sleep, 16 hours awake, active and passive. Well, the galactic cycle is the same, so we've clicked into the more renewing phase of the galactic cycle. The sun's changed colour, it's putting out more energy. It's causing everybody to realise that, hang on, that the system's broken, it's not supposed to be, what went wrong, it's not supposed to be like this here, and everything's backwards. There's certainly a growing number of people coming to that realisation. But along the way, there was a pulse released with that was designed to resonate with our bodies, and it was designed to bring back to mind like unresolved issues. There's been a bit of emotional clearing going on. And if you were like me, I had memories coming back to me from all over my life, all kinds of everything. Right way back to when I was a little boy, only this time I could see the truth, the lies, and the reality of the situation. I could see like the big picture, or a bigger picture anyway, that I didn't see before. And I noticed this really amped up in 2012. It was pretty overwhelming then. But looking back, it was going on for quite a few years before that. Just really got going, I think, when we clicked into the more renewing phase of the galactic cycle. So that'll have been happening to some of you, especially if you're a little bit older. Some of you may have been sailing on through quite nicely, but others, well, that'll have been happening to some of you. And I think the idea is you've got to be truthful about the situation. Truthful with yourself, truthful about the situation. You're looking for solutions to problems, win-win solutions if that's possible. It's not always possible, but what did you learn from the situation? What would you do next time? I think the idea is you just see the reality of the situation, and then it's the emotions cleared, if you like. You can get it out of your body, out of your mind, and therefore out of your body. It leaves more room in your emotional pathways. It kind of clears out the emotional pathways to leave more of life force energy to flow through our emotional pathways, which is a healthy and healing thing. Please check out the other videos. There's a one on human history, there's a one on walking mechanics, there's a one on a natural cold sore cure. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and I'll see you on the next one.